The chaparral is a scrubby, fire-resistant ecosystem mostly made up of woody shrubs and small grasses and flowering plants. There are also trees in the chaparral, but they're fairly sparse. In California, these are typically pine trees or oak trees.
Hey, so we're out at the Red Hills just east of Stockton, and we found some pretty cool stuff. We got these encrusting lichens over here on these rocks, and check out this gorgeous pine cone. So each of these is a pine cone scale. So there's no seeds here anymore. That's where the seeds would have lived. On this rock over here, it looks like we have moss. So here's some moss. If we get in really close, we might be able to see some sporophytes growing out of it. And on the same rock, we have some of these crustose lichens. These are the symbiotic relationships between a fungus and either an algae or a cyanobacteria. So a protist that can do photosynthesis plus a fungus. We have some moss, and you can just see these little sporophytes growing up out of it here and here. Looks like there's some older ones over here, they're a little bit browner. So we can focus on that. Focus. There we go. You can see the tiny little moss leaves. This is a non-vascular seedless plant. They don't get very tall. They don't have roots though. So that means that they can grow on crazy places like this rock here. So we have several different species of yellow flowers over here, and they're all kind of the same shade of yellow. Dr. Dugas wanted to know if y'all have any ideas why all of these flowers from different species are the same color. Close up on some of these different yellow flowers. We have these teensy tiny yellow ones over here. They're super wee. We've got these larger kind of daisy-ish dandelion looking ones over here. And then over here we've got a whole bunch of these poppies. Oop, can't quite grab them. But they're all really similar in color. Why do you think that is? So on this conifer here, which is a gymnosperm, we have these immature pollen cones. Now I'm gonna zoom up, or pan up I suppose, and you're gonna see the actual female cones way up there. You can, oops, sorry, those are still the pollen cones. There we go. So here are the large female cones, and then the much smaller male pollen cones. All right, over here it looks like we've got some immature pollen cones and some immature pine cones. So up at the top, those are the immature pollen cones, and here are a couple of immature pine cones. So both on the same tree, but on totally different branches of the tree. Here's what these pine cones will look like once they're mature. These are really giant and beautiful. So these are the female pine cones. The pollen cones are the male cones of this tree.